The age of noise. We live in an age where silence is rare, and solitude feels almost unnatural. People fear being alone. They fill every moment with sound, music, scrolling, talking, distractions. But what if being alone isn't a weakness? What if solitude is the key to true strength? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." The Stoics believed that solitude was not isolation, it was mastery. When you learn to be alone, you stop depending on the world for validation. You stop chasing noise and start listening to yourself. In this video, we'll explore the power of being alone, how solitude transforms you, strengthens you, and reveals who you truly are. Lesson 1. Why most people fear solitude. Most people don't actually fear loneliness. They fear meeting themselves. In solitude, there are no distractions, no excuses, no masks. You face your thoughts, your flaws, your regrets. The Stoics understood this confrontation was necessary. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." When you are alone, you can no longer perform. You can no longer hide behind social approval. You see yourself clearly, and that clarity is the beginning of transformation. Solitude strips away illusions. It shows you who you are when no one is watching. And that's where true power begins, because the person who can stand alone no longer fears rejection, silence, or being misunderstood. Lesson 2. Solitude builds mental strength. The Stoics lived with discipline, not distraction. They believed the mind must be trained, just like the body. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you can improve." But he also warned, you must be your own friend first. The ability to sit alone, to think, reflect, and stay focused is mental muscle. When you spend time in solitude, you sharpen your thoughts. You clarify your purpose. You learn emotional self-reliance. People who constantly seek company are often escaping themselves. But those who master solitude build unbreakable confidence, because they've learned to depend on something stronger than approval, their own mind. Lesson 3. Detachment, the Stoic key to freedom. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Solitude gives you control over those colors. It helps you detach from what others think, say, or do. In a world addicted to validation, detachment is liberation. When you are alone, you remember what is within your control and what is not. The Stoics practiced this constantly. They withdrew not to escape the world, but to master how they responded to it. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop suffering over what you cannot change. The one who practices solitude doesn't need constant approval. They become calm, centered, and difficult to manipulate. That is Stoic freedom. The ability to be okay, even when you stand alone. Lesson 4. Solitude reveals your true priorities. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Most people don't know what they truly value, because they never slow down long enough to ask. Solitude forces you to question, what am I chasing? What do I really want? Who am I becoming? When you are constantly surrounded by noise, you inherit other people's dreams, fears, and desires. But when you're alone, you reconnect with what's essential. You realize that simplicity is power. You begin to cut out what doesn't serve your purpose. The Stoics were ruthless in this. They believed unnecessary desires were the root of suffering. Solitude gives you the clarity to know what truly matters, and the courage to walk away from everything that doesn't. Lesson 5. Being alone strengthens focus and creativity. When the mind is constantly stimulated, it becomes dull. It forgets how to think deeply. But when you're alone, you enter deep focus. That's why history's greatest thinkers, writers, and leaders often sought solitude. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations alone, not for others, but for himself. Seneca wrote his letters in isolation to sharpen his philosophy. When you detach from constant interaction, you discover original thought. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. Solitude isn't emptiness. It's space, and space allows wisdom to grow. Lesson 6. Solitude teaches self-discipline. Epictetus taught that freedom is impossible without discipline, and discipline is impossible without solitude. When you're alone, no one is watching. That's when your habits are real. Do you still train? Do you still meditate? Do you still work on your craft when no one's clapping? That's the test of character. Solitude exposes your truth, your consistency, your integrity, your focus. In the Stoic sense, solitude is training. It's the gym of the soul. You learn to lead yourself, so you no longer depend on being led. Lesson 7. The difference between loneliness and solitude. There's a big difference between being lonely and being alone. Loneliness is emptiness. Solitude is fullness. Loneliness says, I need someone to make me feel whole. Solitude says, I am whole already. Marcus Aurelius wrote, men seek retreats for themselves in the country, by the sea, in the hills. But it is in your own soul that you can find retreat. You can be surrounded by people and still feel lonely, or you can be completely alone and feel at peace. The Stoic learns to turn solitude into strength. They transform silence into understanding. And once you realize that your peace doesn't depend on others, you become untouchable. Lesson 8. Solitude and emotional healing. Pain becomes unbearable when you refuse to face it. That's why solitude is also a healer. Seneca said, no man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. When you sit in solitude after loss, heartbreak, or betrayal, you begin to process it. You see the event not as tragedy, but as instruction. Every emotion becomes a lesson. Every wound becomes wisdom. Solitude allows you to separate pain from identity. You stop saying, why me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? That's how Stoics grew stronger, through reflection, not reaction. Lesson 9. Solitude leads to inner peace. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. In solitude, you stop estimating. You stop labeling events as good or bad. You simply observe. That is peace, when your mind is still and your soul doesn't chase or resist. The more time you spend in solitude, the more you realize that peace was never outside. It was within you all along. And once you find that inner peace, you bring it wherever you go, even into chaos. Conclusion. The silent power. Being alone is not weakness, it's strength refined. It's the space where you stop being influenced and start becoming intentional. The Stoics understood, true wisdom comes from reflection. True power comes from self-control, and both are born in solitude. So learn to walk alone for a while, not because you hate the world, but because you're learning to stand firm within it. When you master solitude, you become calm, clear, and unbreakable. And that's the greatest power of all, the power of being alone. He who learns to be alone will never be lonely again. Anonymous.